The first story is titled Foolishly Haunted. Let's call the friend who told this story named Vin. At that time Vin was a student, and everyone knows that students have a very tight budget, so they could find a room to rent or a house. Somewhere it was close to the place where I studied. The price was cheap so I could move in right away, but I never cared about other people's things. Vin always remembers that house, that time there. Hey, this house looks like an abandoned house. Why? Because the road leading to this house is all dirt and rocks, but around this house it is all moss. Then the white paint streaks of the house keep getting stained yellow. Over time everyone. But this house also has no windows, because all three sides are houses, and next to it there is a huge tree. In general it looks very gloomy. So the story starts from here. The roommate of Vin's name is Cain. At that time, Cain went to have a fortune teller, told by an aunt in Vinfield, which Vin said. What a coincidence, this fortune teller is the mother of one of Vin's friends. I heard that this girl was possessed by Mr. Ho and Muoi, so her reading is very accurate. Then this girl told Cain that on that day, that month, absolutely do not go out of the house, because if you go out, that day you will definitely have an accident at the nearby intersection, the place where this person is. At first, Cain didn't believe his friends, but when she described the boarding house, and the way in, it was too accurate, so Cain also believed it. Until that day, this friend didn't dare leave the house, so he invited a whole group of friends over to play. Somewhere around 10 people, the whole group had fun, then played cards and everything. When you're done, you can go home. But in this group, there's one guy who stays behind. This guy's name is Dung and he brought firecrackers with him. At this point, he invited two friends to set off firecrackers to see what it was like. At this time, Vin refused. Vin said, please go out and burn it, but now this is someone else's rented house, so if something happens, I don't know how to explain it. But this Dung friend is also very stubborn. He refused to go out, so he invited Cain to go up to the second floor to find a place to shoot fireworks. Finally, I found a room that was being renovated, and this room is right on the balcony, and the van wall has been broken, so it's very convenient. But fire artillery. These two people were having so much fun shooting, so naturally they didn't understand why the homeowner appeared, but Vin said, normally the homeowner wasn't here, but didn't understand why the homeowner appeared that day. Right there. At this time, the landlord was yelling too much, and Dung was also very stubborn. He argued back and forth with this landlord, so Vin was so upset, Vin sent Dung back to his side. Are you lying? Go home, go back to your motel, you're too tired. Finally, Dung also went back to his friends, then Dung went back to Dung's boarding house in District 12. That night, when Dung was sleeping, Dung had a dream about his friends, then Dung dreamed of having a whole house. The woman rushed to strangle Dung. At this moment, Dung was very scared and panicked. Dung tried to recite Buddha's name, but the more he chanted, the more this woman strangled him, until Dung could no longer stand it, and then Dung shouted, growing up his mom, save me. At this moment, this woman let go of her hand and disappeared, and let everyone know that Dung's mother was the fortune teller for Cain mentioned above. Then the next day I thought everything would be normal, but it wasn't. At night, when Dung returned to his room, he suddenly vomited, then he trembled. His whole body was angry, but do you know? One of Dung's eyes got bigger and Dung was in so much pain that he cried continuously. It was swollen and his eye wanted to bulge out. Luckily, it was in Dung's room. There are 3 other friends. At this time, these friends called to inform Vin and Kane that Dung was suffering like T. Black pants and a red shirt. Only then did Vin answer. Vin called out, "I'm wearing black pants, and Kane is wearing a red shirt, is that okay?" Oh my god. At this time, a friend who was talking to me asked in a panic and said that oh my god, then don't go past Dung and do anything. His mother called and said someone was wearing a black shirt, a black shirt. Red pants are planning to come over here, so stay home and don't go out of your room. If you come out, you'll be stuck with Dung. Why? Because his mother said he was being followed by 2 ghosts. At this moment, suddenly when the 2 of you heard that on the phone like that, you were all startled and had goosebumps all over. Then what are you talking about? Then the guy on the other end of the phone line said, yes, these 2 ghosts followed Dung. One was a woman wearing a hat, and the other was a soldier standing in front of Dung's room. As for your room, there are a lot of armless, legless, and headless spirits standing outside, but I don't understand why people can't come into your room. So it's best for you guys to stay in your room. Hearing that, the 2 of you were so scared that you barricaded yourself in the room and tried to pray. Reading the sutras continuously is like reading the sutras to exorcise evil spirits. Then, while he was in the room so scared, a friend over there continued to call and said, "You're so lucky, Dung's mother was able to free him of the devil." Then the other friends continued talking. Dung's mother made him sit cross-legged and make hand gestures. Then it was Dung who told him, he saw a woman holding his hand. I dragged him into the forest but there was only water. At this point he was so scared that he called out, "Mom, help me, help me." At this moment, his mother appeared, wearing a coffin like in the past, dragging him back, and he was finally able to escape from this evil spirit. This girl also added that it was the motel room that Vinna's friend lives in. Previously, it was a pond where many people drowned. Later, people filled it up and dumped it. The bomb exploded and killed a lot of people, but that day Dung and Kane were playing with firecrackers in the same room, and this place was full of ghosts and ghosts. Always. The reason why Dung's eye was swollen was because when he opened fire, he hit the eye of a ghostly person, so the people in power cursed him for having such a swollen eye. At this point, I heard that they were very scared. Vin and Kane were very scared. Then this girl added that she was making offerings to apologize, so nothing happened anymore. But it's best that these 2 people, these 2 friends Vin and Kane, should move out of that room, don't stay there anymore. At this point, the 2 of you were at peace. That night, you 2 slept and it was not until the next morning that Vin asked Kane, "Hey Kane, you slept last night. Did you see anything?" At this time, Kane told Kane that I dreamed that I was walking on the road and saw a woman drowning, so I ran to save her, but unexpectedly, that woman suddenly disappeared, jumped up in the river and pulled me down into the river. As for Vin, you said you were dreaming. You dreamed that you were on a boat with Kane, then suddenly someone pulled Kane down into the river below the boat. Oh my god. When you think back, these 2 dreams are logically linked. Immediately on that day, the 2 of you moved out of this room. Then through this story you want to send us a lesson: don't do anything that hasn't been done yet. Allow me to stay in places that I don't know or that I don't control. Through this one-time story, it will haunt you forever. There are things in this world that we cannot explain, so it is best to abstain from them and it will be good. When renting a house, we should find good places and places that we know. Clear. And this is the end of the story. Everyone who listens to the story finds it interesting. Please give me 1 like and 1 subscriber. I hope everyone has fun listening to the story.